What's going on, everyone? Togavor here, and today I'm bringing you guys another week of the NPL Season 8. This is Week 6 up against my good friend Matty. So for some reason you're not watching his content. I don't know why. He has some of the best draft league content in the game. Fantastic body as well, so really no reason to be over there. He will be the first link in the description, so please make sure you are watching him as well. Alright, now... Ooh, excuse me. After that unfortunate L we took last week, today we have a chance to redeem ourselves versus one of the better players out there in draft format. So that's kind of the unfortunate part. I also am not the biggest fan of this matchup. I will probably, hopefully, have edited in his team here. I actually don't have his full team anywhere. I probably should get that, out here so I can actually have some enlightened commentary about why I brought all the things I did, because that's usually something that happens in these team builders, but I'm a college student and I'm unprepared for everything, so what do you expect? Alright, now give me a second to go through my notes here. Okay, I got it. So his team is Lapras, Celesteela, Latios, Nidoking, Azumarill, Raikou, Swellow, Delmise, Licky, Mega Tyranitar, Musharna, and Monferno. So, team preview, really 11 Mons that I'm putting time into prepping for. I'm not the most worried about Monferno coming. Well, I think there's a chance it does come versus my team, but I'm not really too worried about handling it. So I'm going to be focused on his other ones. And you can see right here, I have this Hoop Unbound with the Assault Vest. And the main reason I'm running this, main reasons, I guess, is it's a very, very solid check to two things that are very threatening to my team. The Raikou, as well as a specially focused Nidoking. This can switch into those and do well with them. The speed is there for guessing around what he'll be at Celesteela. I didn't foresee him running a Jolly or Timid one. I thought even if he was a Totemized, which I thought was pretty likely versus my team, that he would be modest, and he would be somewhere at around 200 speed. So that's the reason for that spread. This also makes sure I always outspeed the Azumarill, and I can hit it with the Gunk Shot. Drain Punch is there for his Mega T-Tar, so has the coverage to really put a work in and is a good check to some of his specially inclined threats. Next we have Zygarde, DD, Yachiberry. Yachiberry is there because I am confident he'll be running Ice Punch on the Mega T-Tar as well as Ice Beam on the Nidoking. Maybe even Ice Beam on the Latios, HP Ice on the Celesteela, so HP Ice on the Raikou obviously. So this just gives me a lot more opportunities to set up, and this set really gives me the chance to go through his team. Superpower is there, that way I can actually OHKO the Tyranitar +1 always. Check my coffee. Whew, it's a strong boy. It also lets me hit the Lapras if he brings that, which actually I don't think is that bad of a matchup versus my team. It can be a pretty solid Manaphy check. I also think, and the Crunch is there for the Delmise, as well as hitting the Latios a little bit higher, as well as hitting the Musharna a little bit higher, which are some of the bulkier things that could stop this. So really think this is a good set that has the chance to plow through his team in the mid to late game. Next we have this defensive Manaphy. This is mainly there as a switch into Celesteela, physically defensive. This means Heavy Slam, even though Manaphy is very, very light. Steel moves, even Air Slash won't do a ton to this, and I can rest, Rain Dance on it, and really hopefully use this to prevent it from plowing through my team. If it has Giga Drain, that could be more of an issue, but with the fact that it's forced to run Flamethrower for my... If he's an offensive set, he'll definitely be running Flamethrower for my Mega Scizor, as well as my guess would be either a Steel move to hit the Ninetales, or something like HP Ice to hit the... Zygarde, or a physical coverage move to hit the Hoopa better, so this should do a good job of checking it, and with the rest and Rain Dance be a reliable switch-in. The reason I did decide to run Scald is because I wanted it to be easier, because I didn't actually think that his I can't talk right now, I'm sorry. I didn't actually think that his Lapras would come, and that is his only immunity to it. I even thought it was unlikely kind of that Delmise came, which is one of his other bigger resists. So Mono Scald wouldn't really hurt me, and this has the opportunity to sweep his team as well, depending on what he brings, if I'm able to take care of the Raikou and the Latios. as well as the other threats I mentioned, them either not coming or also dying. Next we have this bulky Swords of the Ancestors. Speed is the same benchmark that my Hoopa hit. I'm trying to outspeed the Hoopa Unbound. Hit it with a +2 superpower if that his desired check to it. And BP really just hits almost his entire team really hard, so that's very nice. Bulky, so I could take a hit or something from something like the Raikou. In general, just BP is phenomenal versus this team. Really big threat versus him, sweeping at the late game. Next we have this Spadef Miltank. This is here, you know, to help deal with things like Latios, to help deal with things like... Oh yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know why I forgot. Main switch into Latios right here. Great switch into Latios. Stealth Rock, Milk Drink, Fire Punch is there so the Celesteela can't just own me, and Hammer Arm is there to catch the T-Tar. I just feel like those are the two best things, is because those are two of the biggest, like, easy switch-ins into my Miltank, you could say, given a normal set. So I wanted to be able to punish those as much as possible, as I am Spadef and won't be able to take physical hits from the T-Tar especially. Last but not least, what we brought last week, it's back. It's just, Scarf Ninetales is really, really good. I have Modest here, try to hit the team harder. Freeze Dry absolutely obliterates this team. He does not have a resist to it. So hopefully going to be spamming that as much as possible. His Mega T-Tar could serve as a good check, depending on its spread. If it's a bulkier variant, Moonblast still won't be doing too much. But no, this should be good to clean up late game. Also, Aurora Veil to potentially set up a sweep with one of my two main sweepers, neither Zygarde or Mega Scizor. Yeah, and that's the team this week. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Now let's hop into that game versus Matty. Alright, so here looking at team preview, oh, it's actually flipped. I'll fix that in just a second. Let me actually go into the game. He brings the Monferno. I'm expecting that just to be probably a lead rocker, something of the like. Yeah, maybe even like a Violite user with Will-O-Wisp to check my Scizor. Those are the kinds of things that I thought it had the potential to come. Taunt, something like that. A good Miltank check. Potentially, could even... Depending if it's a Violite like Spadef, could probably switch into the Ninetales pretty good. I didn't really run calcs with that because I didn't really anticipate it coming, if I'm honest. But it came. That's fine. Aside from that, really relieved to see the things that... Not to see the things that would do a better job of checking my Manaphy. No, I'm actually like feeling pretty good about this matchup overall. So let's hop into it. I decided to just try to lead off with my Rocks Miltank, try to get those up straight away. And yep, here we go. So switch sides. Okay. So, he leads off with his Unmonferno, a great nickname. So, right here, I switch straight out on Manaphy, as I do not want to risk a fighting move, damaging my Miltank so early on. Now, and also I knew he could have had Taunt. He just goes for the Fake Out. So, based on that, my guess is that he probably did have the Taunt. So, I switch into Manaphy just to get the pressure on it. Very good play. Now, right here, I get the Scald off, and I'm actually really worried at this point, because I assumed he would be Endeavor. And as he showed from that time, he outsped me, and I was like, I don't know what I want to get really weakened. This isn't great. So I just fire off another Scald, and thankfully it works out better. Now, in the original game, I got a burn right there. Now, I'll say that because we restarted a couple times, and I'll explain why we did that later. Thankfully, yeah, but based on how everything worked out with the restarts, I'm not like upset that the way we played didn't burn. And I'll explain that further later. So I go into my Zygarde here as he goes for a Calm Mind. I have the Yachi Berry, so I am just going to click Thousand Arrows straight away. And unsurprisingly, he decides to sack his Monferno. Now, one of the really bad things about the way this game started is that I do not have Rocks up. And that will be very problematic going later into the game, as you just see the way it works out is he won't be forced to switch as I put offensive pressure on him in the mid to late game. Now, right here, he brings in his Latios after he sacks the Monferno. A play that honestly makes a lot of sense. Yeah, actually, you know, the one thing that I'm frustrated about is that I kind of wish I DD'd there when the Monferno came in, because I knew there was no way he stayed in with the Raikou, and even if he did stay in the HPIC, it means I still got a DD up. But I go into this, and he clicks Dragon Dance, and I see the Flame Orb, and instantly, like, it's not that hard to deduce once you see that what this is. This is going to be DD Facade. And I'm like, oh shit! But then I go to the calc, and I'm Fat Hoopa, and I realize even if he's max attack, as long as he's not adamant, I live 100% of the time. That ends up what he's being. Take him out with the Hyperspace Fury. I didn't click knockoff there. I brought both, kind of for a situation like this. Knockoff being nice because I can like knock off items on Celesteela or anything that switches in if it's not a Z-move variant. But Hyperspace Fury for the guaranteed power, a little bit of extra power, which did actually matter here, as knockoff would have been a roll, but Hyperspace Fury was a guaranteed KO. Now right here, I have nothing to do but click Drain Punch and hope for some reason that he's poorly sped. This kind of does make me wish I had just run max speed, max HP Hoopa, because that would have been devastating for him right there. And would have allowed me to just come in and click 1,000 arrows with the Zygarde here. Now right here, I decided to DD, because I assume he'll have the Ice Punch, but depending on what the rest of his mons are, this could go put havoc in the rest of his team or put him in a really good spot. And he just has the Ice Punch, takes 41%, that's fine, I have Superpower, can go for that now. Thankfully. So, this is our third time playing through this, because both of the first 2 times, Ice Punch froze here. I really appreciate Matty being willing to restart, because not a lot had happened to this, and the only, thing that we weren't able to replicate was the burn on, Raikou, but it was a burn, so, not a big deal. And, especially with the way Burn has been nerfed in Gen 7. Makes it not as big of a deal on special attacker, especially one with lefties. It could have played a little bit differently in the late game, but, really, for him allowing me to not have this thing get frozen, it's not nothing I'm going to complain about, certainly. But it's just funny to me, because if you guys remember last week, Aster froze us twice with Ice Fang. So, this Ice Punch, I believe, is the first time in this NPL season where a move has been picked against me that has a chance to freeze and it didn't freeze. Which is fucking insane. So I go for the Superpower, knock him out, and now he brings in his Nidoking, and immediately I'm like, oh, this is either Scarfed, and likely outspeeds me, or it's Shuka. Turns out it's Shuka. So it does survive, takes me out with the Ice Beam. Oh yeah, I didn't get frozen there either. That's funny. Now right here I make a play that I shouldn't have. I just straight up shouldn't have. I should have gone into my Ninetales, which would have allowed me to either knock out the Nidoking or get immense pressure on his team. Because it allows him to get T-Spikes up, which is very much not good. It's 100% the play I should have made, and I do beat this thing 1v1, as you'll see. That's why he switches out into this. But it was just very much not the play. He gets in his Raikou, and from the Scald damage, I knew this was a bulkier Raikou. I was super scared of the Calm Mind. Regardless, he Volt switches out there, I think predicting me to switch, which is fine. This actually puts me in a better position. But that was the misplay of the game for me right there. If I had gone into my Ninetales, I either would have KO'd the Nidoking or gotten damage on Celesteela or Raikou, and a good amount of damage. And from where I was, I think I could actually survive a T-Bolt from the Raikou, so I really could have weakened it, or really weakened the Celesteela with my Manaphy still as a check, and without having to try to get rid of the poison on it. I would have been in a much better position. That was the misplay of the game for me. And now right here I make a misplay, predicting his, I guess I just predicting his second Calm Mind. I didn't see why he didn't go for it. I was going to try to get the Aura Veil up. But he just knocks me out the T-Bolt, and after this, there's not really a way for me to win the game. It's going to take a while for him to switch around, whatever. That was a misplay right there. I should have roosted. If I roosted there, I actually might have had a chance at this, but maybe not. It just really wasn't great. Now he goes into this. I go into my Manaphy. He goes for the Autotomize. Now he's going to outspeed me. And there's not going to be a ton I can do. Well, there's one thing I guess I kind of could have done. He has the Supersonic Sky Strike. Does a crap ton. I go for the Rain Dance. I shouldn't have gone for the Rain Dance there. I should have just gone for the Scald. Or the Rest, I guess. Really, no, I should have gone for the Rest. That was a misplay. But, you know, misplays on misplays on misplays for me. What's new? But really, I really think a lot of it comes down to that Ninetales play. That really cost me. Just the pressure it would have allowed me to cause. I get the Hammer Arm here. Not going to matter in terms of who wins the game. He's still going to be able to take me out. It's going to change differential a little bit, as it's going to, even after this next turn of leftovers, allow my Scizor to take out this Raikou with a Bullet Punch. But then his Celesteela will just come in and clean up the game, and that will be that. So it's going to end up being 1-0 victory to Matty. Very good game. He played very well. Again, I really think I'm not saying it all based on I didn't know how it was. I didn't theory mode it all the way out. How I think the game would have gone with Ninetales. With Ninetales coming in there against the Needle King instead. But in hindsight, it is really the play I should have made. So that's that. But I am much happier with this performance, obviously, than last week's. Despite the hacks last week, I still would not have been able to get it this close versus Aster. So, glad about that. Very good game to Matty. And next week, we will be taking on Moxie and Fernape. So, look forward to that. Hopefully, we can start to turn our season around and get out of that relegation zone. So, that's it for this week. Make sure you check out Matty, all the other NFL, what the fuck am I saying? NPL coaches. Their links are all in the description. Anyways, I'm Togavora, you're yourself. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!